Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another live iThemes training event. My name is Nathan Ingram. I am the host here at iThemes Training, and it is Plugin Roundup. It's already April already for 2022. Months just flying by, and we've got another good list of plugins for you this month. So if you're just joining us in GoToWebinar, we invite you over to the chat room at iThemes.com/chat, iThemes.com/chat, and therein you will find the link to today's handout, which I'm going to drop in one final time before we get started. So make sure you are over there and grab that handout. If you're watching this on the replay, click the download handout button right below the video, and you'll have the list. Okay, here we go. We're going to get started with a fantastic update to the GiveWP plugin. So we've actually never featured GiveWP here on the Plugin Roundup. It's been around for a long time. It's a fantastic plugin, fantastic group of people that run GiveWP. In the last several months, they've also become part of the Stellar WP family, a sister company now to iThemes. But if you work with nonprofits at all, you should absolutely know about GiveWP. It does have paid options, but it has a really pretty good feature set in the free version. So they have now, in the latest release, I think we mentioned this in the last news roundup, they've added a block support to GiveWP. So this is a good time just to show you what it does. So the paid add-on pieces of Give are relatively inexpensive, especially for what it can do for you. But again, the free version works really, really well. This is especially helpful if you have a small nonprofit that you're working with, because this actually it's like $100 and something a year, basically provides like a donor management dashboard where donors can log in and download their receipts and all of that. Like it just would offload so much manual bookkeeping type work especially for a small nonprofit. Anyway, if you work with nonprofits, you probably want to know about this one. Let us just have a quick look at GiveWP, though, and have a look at the way the blocks work. So let me activate Give. And you find it here under Donations. Now, I got a couple of donation forms set up already. There's just the standard donation form, and then this project for Build a Playground at Our School. So this is our form. We just went ahead and set all this up just to make it a little bit easier. But it's, the UI is really nice. Got a featured image. You can set some colors and font options and all of these things. And how do you want to donate? Like, is it going to be multi-level donations like $10, $20, $50? Or is it a set amount like you give $25? That's the way it's going to be. Or whatever. You can set limits. You can set up the various form fields that you want on the form. You can actually have a donation goal where it will track, how much has been given. Let's just do this. We want to raise $10,000. So it's got the progress bar, like the little thermometer, like the old school thermometer you'd see at some place, and they're feeling in the thermometer. Terms and conditions link if you want it. Do we want to enable offline donations? And then there's email notifications for the various emails that might be sent out, like a new donation was received or a receipt to the donor. All that can be customized here. So that's classic GiveWP. That stuff's been around forever. All this is free in the free version. You can also set up the online payment gateways. Stripe is free with this. So you can start taking donations right away in the free plugin. It's really fantastic. So let's now drop over to the new part, which is the block. Now, previously, Give was, and still is, shortcode powered, but the new blocks just make it a whole lot easier. So let's open up my little page here. Everything is running slow today. And we'll type Give. All right, so there's 5 different Give blocks now. So this is new. And by the way, if you're in kind of a hybrid development type world like we are in my agency, where we do like blog posts now, we're doing all the blog is now done in the block editor and not in the classic editor. So that's pretty fun. So if you're doing kind of a hybrid site where maybe you're doing blocks on some places, then this is a easy way to go in and just like drop a block in the page for the the donation, the donor wall, that sort of thing. Well, let's just drop in a donation form here. Which one do you want? We're going to do the playground one. And right there, you get like there's our little goal meter. How much do you want to give? Put in your name. And the cool thing about this is, oh, I turned that off. It used to have little options where you could click the amounts, but this is like a live working form, so you can actually experiment with it in the background. It's really great. Update the page, and your form is live. I mean, it's super, super easy to deal with. So, yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool? Now, there's another block that's really excellent. I'm going to remove this one, and let's do the form grid. So if you have multiple donation forms, let's say for various projects, and maybe you could have like a donations page on the nonprofit website, and it puts a grid of like all of your different forms you have. So like you can, on one page, you can really quickly show all the things you're raising support for. See, look at that. So, like if we want this one, we click it, and it goes to a page. There's a really cool option here though, where here in the blocks, whoops, what did I just do? I accidentally did something. I'm not quite sure what it was. Let's go back. And good night, this site is running slow today. Like really slow. Holy cow. All right, so let's get into our block settings. And okay, here we go. So the display type, I really like this. Let's make this a modal instead of a redirect to the specific page. Like every form has its own page. That's good. It can be shared directly. But here, with that modal option, this works so well. Even works really good on mobile also. So you click that, and look, it just pops it up right there in a nice modal window. It's just really fancy and cool. Easy to set up. I mean, you can't beat that. So there's some questions about the premium version, what that includes. The payment gateway, it comes with Stripe out of the box. It supports most major gateways that you would probably imagine. What you would pay for are like peer-to-peer fundraising, where like you can, how's the best way to explain this? Like you can have people raising money for you, like, people competing for a fundraising goal to raise money. Recurring donations are an add-on. Other various payment gateways, marketing add-ons, like connecting Give things with MailChimp or whatever. So these are the sorts of things. And I believe they've got like a package deal with all of them, or they sell them. Recurring giving is by far the most popular add-on. But they give you like the all-in-one bundle if you just want to buy the whole thing. So not a bad deal. Multiple sites, $349. You'll make that back with one good successful fundraiser. Anyway, that's all the time I really want to spend here, but that's GiveWP. Does a lot of cool things. It's got a really nice donor gateway. Maybe we can have the Give folks on and talk about, setting up Give and some strategies for fundraising if you work with nonprofits. All right, so that is GiveWP with the new blocks. Really easy to use. They've done a good job with this, so give that a look if you work with nonprofits. Okay, moving right along to the next one, which is called Pdq Csv. PDQ stands for Pretty Darn Quick CSV Exporter. Now, this is one of those plugins. It's going to be a little hard for me to demonstrate, but if you've ever wanted to export things out of WordPress and you get really, really lost in all the things, and maybe there's post that has some post meta or various things, it can be hard to get the things that you want out of WordPress. But this is a fantastic plugin, especially for free. It even rivals a lot of the abilities of what am I trying to say? The all-in-one WP import. I'm going to apologize. I said this in the pre-show. I am not feeling well today. Like I feel like I get hit by a truck, so I'm probably struggling a little bit with words. So that's if I'm not making sense, that's probably why. Let's look at Pdq Csv. Beth is saying, is it a free replacement for sheet editor? No, this is just an export. But let's have a look and you'll see what it will do. So, for example, Pdq, pretty darn quick, CSV. So what do we want to export? Look at all these things we can export. Let's say we want to export our let's do WooCommerce products, shall we? So now we can add a filter. Does the post status, is the author of the thing, what dates was it published? So you can add all these filters about which products you want to export and so forth. Oh, Beth is saying users. Oh, yeah, Beth had that issue with users. So let's do that. Users. That's still set on products. Users. Okay. My whole world is not cooperating today. Let's try this again. Users. Here we go. It does not do import. This is export only. So users, let's add a filter. So I think we can do role. No. Let's see. User name, user ID. We'll just do all users. So no filters. Now, here's where it gets fun. You can, we're going to add a field. So here is where you have the list. Now, this is going to be really gnarly on this site because WP Nathan has had 8 jillion plugins added to it. And so there's so much post meta defined on this site. It's ridiculous. But you'll see, look at all the custom fields and custom meta that's on the site. And so you can it gives you access, deep dive into the WordPress database to pull out just the pieces of data you might want about the user. So the question is, why would you use this if there's no import? To get like a list of users and what they do. So like Beth's thing was the other day in office hours was like the user's last login date. And I don't know if it'll do that or not, but let's just see. Last update, registration date and time, it'll do that, but that's the only thing. So like now we're starting to create an export. See, like you can, it's a granular ability to export things out of WordPress with just the fields you want and certain filters. So it's a really powerful tool. You wouldn't use it every day for sure, but if you've ever tried to do something like this, you realize pretty quickly how powerful this is. So Beth, it doesn't give us our last login date, but it does give us a ton of other things. Like, we could add all available fields and it will put in all of the meta that's in the site and we can export that. So that is Pdq CSV, pretty darn quick CSV exporter. Jesse, could you import in PHP? Well, now here's the thing. If you have a plugin that does import, like WP All Import, you could take this CSV and use that to import it. This plugin just doesn't import. It's about exporting into a CSV. So you could use another WordPress import tool to get data into a different WordPress install. Melanie, yes, you're exactly right. So like Beth was just saying, WordPress isn't tracking last login in core WordPress, but I will bet you your membership plugin, Beth, does have a meta field for last login because it's tracking that. So yes, you could probably pull that out here. It would be worth trying. Okay. All right. So that is Pdq CSV. It's an edge case, but it's a very powerful tool if you ever have to do something like we're talking about here. Like I want to see all of my posts that have this particular bit of criteria or whatever. All right, let's move on to another interesting topic, and I like this one. I like the way this is executed, and this was a plugin that was designed for people for websites where they're dealing with victims of violence, right? And so a person who's in that sort of situation, if the person who is their abuser sees them on a website that's pertaining to domestic violence, that's going to cause a problem, right? So this is what they call an escape button that is just really simple to set up. So let me get over to that plugin and activate it. There are no settings. Escape button. Simply activate the plugin and watch what happens. Actually, I need to do this in incognito window because some weird things happen if you're logged in. But here's what will happen. Right down here, there's this safety exit button. So if I click this, watch. It pops open a tab immediately for Amazon. And in this other tab where my site is, it loads allrecipes.com. And as a matter of fact, and the back button doesn't even work. So it erases the history. It adds all recipes and pops open a tab immediately for Amazon. So you cannot edit the sites where it goes. These are hard coded. Like you could edit the plugin directly to do that. But this is a really neat little plugin if you happen to be dealing with an organization where this sort of escape button would be helpful. So that is escape button from our wave. All right, any questions or comments about that one or anything else so far? Paul is saying wrote similar functionality for a women's shelter a couple of years ago. Yeah, exactly. So this just plugs in and works. All right, next up is Extendify, Gutenberg patterns and templates. So for all of you who are experimenting with the block editor and starting to get your feet wet a little bit, this is a really nice collection of patterns and templates that work with any theme. So they do work with Cadence. They work with any block editor theme. Let's activate Extendify, and we'll see what some of the things do. So let me go over here to Pages. Everything is slow today. My goodness gracious. All right, so this is something I actually imported when I was testing this out. Let's just get rid of all this real quick, and I'll show you from scratch how it works. Okay, so up here at the top is our library. This is our Extendify library. It's right next to the Cadence design library. So Cadence has a bunch of stuff. This gives you even more block patterns and canned page layouts. So we're on a free plan, which means we have 10 imports a month for free. So I can use this 10 times on this domain for free. And so let's just grab a, let's see, you can actually set your site type if you want. Let's say we're a photographer, and it's going to pull up patterns and layouts that pertain to photographers. Oh, look, it even puts pictures in that pertain to photography. I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool. Let's just grab a page layout. Pretty nice little designs. Some of the text is squinched in because it's small here. Let's find something that has a little detail to it, like this one. So we're going to click that, and it just dropped it into our site. Look at that. So each of these images are blocks. They are editable. Pulling in our little call to action area. We've got a row with a background and another big fat button. Look at that. Pretty nice. Let's update the page and see what it looks like on the front end. So it pulls in our theme-defined colors really well. It's extending past our borders because we don't have this set to be a full width page. There's a little bit of tweaking we'll need to do here, but all in all, pretty neat little plugin. Let's make it, let's not constrain our page and that'll fix a lot of that problem. But that is Extendify. Again, you get 10 downloads a month. Full width. There we go. Okay, question in the chat. Without talking about the ethics of it, can you put that into your cloud and use it whenever? I mean, theoretically, it's a block, right? I would imagine that that is technically possible. All right. Any other questions or comments about Extendify? Lots of neat little designs there to play with. My own worst enemy. If you remove the plugins, do you still have the blocks? Great question. I would imagine so. I haven't tested that. Let's take a look and see. Because the blocks have been pulled into your site, right? So Extendify is deactivated and the blocks are still there. Yeah. Something else I didn't check on this one is it actually importing the media into your library? And it is not. So those images live somewhere else. Let's see. Yeah, it is an external image. I'm curious where they live. They're Unsplash. So you just basically swap out the image for your own. They're coming from Unsplash though, so that's not bad. Doug says it doesn't work after deactivating the plugin. Interesting. It's working for me. Now the block remains, in other words. Yeah. Okay, any other questions, comments about that one? Yeah, I mean the markup is on your page from the block editor, so I can't imagine a plugin would go delete its own markup. Pro pricing? I have no idea. I thought it was like $50. Yeah, $50, depending on how many sites and so forth. So, you know, would $50 save you design time? Probably. Depends on what you do. Okay, next up is QuickPost from Aruba Ahmed. I like this plugin. So if you're using block editor, one of the things that is a little fussy about it is if we are in a post or a page and you are editing it, because we now no longer have our left, where are we here? In a lot of cases, the left sidebar is not present, right? So adding a new post it takes a few extra clicks, and I forgot to activate the plugin. One must always activate the plugin he wishes to demonstrate. QuickPost. All right, so here's our typical, post layout. If I refresh this, watch what we get up top. Add new post. So right there at the top left, boom, I can just add a new post. I like that a lot. It's a simple toolbox type plugin that just adds that one little button up there. And I think, especially as you're adding content to a site, having that front and center up here is just easy. So, yeah, give that a look. That is QuickPost from Aruba Ahmed. It also gives you right here I'm not sure why it's going that way, the option to duplicate this post. So that's also very helpful. So it'll take that post, and I would imagine even if you're using a page builder, it will duplicate that whole layout just right there. That is QuickPost. Any other questions or comments on that one? Okie dokie. Moving down the list to Easy Author Avatar Image. So if you have a blog site or some other kind of site where you want to easily feature the image of the author, then that's sometimes harder than it should be in WordPress, right? This makes it really easy. So let's activate Easy Author Avatar Image and watch what we get. If we go to Users and we look at Editor, notice we have now a profile picture. So let's just change this profile picture and make it something else. Let's make it Speed Racer. So this will actually if this user has a gravatar defined, it will override the gravatar. So whatever you upload here overrides any set gravatar, and it's going to show up as the author image. So if we go out here to, let's see, I think I have a page set up for this. Oh no, that was it right there. So what I've done here on this moving on up post, notice that editor is the author. So that's the user we just put Speed Racer as the image. Down here at the bottom, I have a block, and it is the post info block, I believe. Yeah, it's the post info block that comes with full site editing. I wonder why this is going over. That's really weird. But anyway, this post info block, we can set it to show the avatar, what size we want it to be. Do we want to show the bio of the user or not? This is a block. This is not the plugin we're talking about. I just want to get the author's image on this particular post. So if you're using a page builder, you can use this as well. Like if you're doing like a Beaver themer customized post, if you're using Cadence and you are customizing a post layout, you can add the author image at the bottom. This works the same way. I'm just going to update this and view it. And right there at the bottom, we get our Speed Racer image. So it's really nice to upload your own profile pictures on the back end. It's pretty cool. So that is Easy Author Avatar Image. The one bad thing, it creates my favorite thing in the world, which is a top-level admin menu item for no particular reason whatsoever. Please put this under settings. But there it is. It has one checkbox that is really honestly superfluous, because if I didn't want it to enable the profile section, then I wouldn't have the plugin there anyway. It is what it is. It's a pretty cool plugin, though. All right, any other last questions or comments on this one? That's Easy Author Avatar Image. Okie dokie. Next up, let me do this. Let me deactivate some plugins before we blow anything up on accident, because, you know, that can happen. Okay. So the next one up here is a really fun plugin called Visual Action Hooks. Visual Action Hooks. Now, we've done some plugins here in the past. Both of them, I believe, were from Sridhar Katakam, who was an iThemes support guy forever and ever, and now runs WPDevDesign.com. Anyway, Sridhar's a genius. And he wrote a plugin like this for Genesis that reveals visually on a page all the hooks that the Genesis framework used. It now, he also has created that plugin for Cadence, basically ported it over, and we featured that plugin, I don't know, within the last year. This is a plugin that does the same thing, but for everything. Like anything that's running, if you have WooCommerce running, for example, it's going to show those hooks. If you have the Cadence theme running, it shows all those hooks all in the same spot, like as you're looking at the page. So let's turn this on, and it's really, really helpful if you are doing anything with hooks, and a hook basically is a spot on, as your page loads, themes and plugins add in hooks, which are basically a spot where you can hang things. So a hook is some action that the PHP of the theme or the plugin is about to do that you can co-opt and attach something else to and have it render at the same spot on the page. So this is Visual Action Hooks. We've just activated it. And there's now a menu item when we can say toggle visibility. So here comes our hooks. Boom. Look at that. All of these hooks. So WP body open at the top. Then we've got a couple of cadence hooks. Cadence. There's cadence navigation. Whoops, I accidentally clicked on it. Didn't mean to do that. All of these things. So you can see where everything is on your site. Isn't that cool? So you never have to guess where the hooks are. Now let me do this. Let's go to the cart. Now one thing I did notice is that this plugin, like it made this menu go wonky. This is only happening for me because I'm logged in as an admin. If I were to visit this in incognito, the site's not broken. It just, I don't know why it does this. It does this. But let's turn on hooks. And so if you're doing anything with WooCommerce, look, here's cadence. Also, but look, there's a WooCommerce hook. Cart is empty. Cart uploaded. Cart, right? So you get all the WooCommerce hooks. And any other plugin that offers you hooks that you can do things with, this is going to reveal those visually on the page so you can see where those hooks are actually occurring, instead of doing what I tend to do a lot of times, which is that it? Nope. It's the dang it method. Is that it? Nope. Dang it. Try another one. Is that it? Nope. Dang it. Try another one. This will actually let you see where all the hooks are. Anyway, Visual Action Hooks is the name of that plugin. Pretty cool. Melanie is saying it will be helpful if you need to hook in code for accessibility. Absolutely. Any other questions or comments on that one? All right. Next up is a fun little Gravity Forms add-on. For those of you Gravity Forms fans out there, you will like this a lot. It is a multi-page auto advance for Gravity Forms. Wouldn't it be nice if you could get rid of pagination on a paginated Gravity Form? Like, for example, when you select the last thing on that page, it automatically advances to the next page without having to click Next Page. Wouldn't that be great? Absolutely, that would be great. And that's what this plugin does, and it's free. So let's have a quick look at multi-page auto advance somewhere. No, it's called something different. It's called auto advance. There it is. I always get lost when the name of the plugin doesn't match where it comes up here in the plugin list. Anyway, so that is auto advance for Gravity Forms here. We're going to skip our freemium stuff. And now it's working. So we'll just show you real quick on the back end. There's a multi-page form demo that we have set up. Yeah, the best plugin developer name of the roundup here, as Tanya is saying. Frog eat fly. You gotta love it. So notice we have a paginated form, and this form field down here under advanced. Look. Auto advance form page when item is selected. So when we select an item from this pick list, it's going to auto advance. Now we can also have the option to, do we want to hide that next button or show it? I've got it hidden right here. Let's just take a quick look at the page. So I have that Gravity form here on the page. And so blah, blah, blah. Let's do right there. And look, it is advancing to the next page. I didn't click anything. Isn't that cool? So, yep, totally works. Now, the same thing here. This is also set to auto advance, but we didn't toggle off the next button. But when I select one of these, look, boom, it goes to the next page. Pretty nice, right? Super easy to use. I like this one a lot, and it's free. So that is multi-page auto advance for Gravity Forms. The Pro version allows you to add some conditional logic to it, and I'm not sure how much that costs. I forgot to look. Buy the Pro version. Unlimited websites, $36.99 annually. It's not bad. $17 for a single site. Not bad at all. They have some other demos here if you want to play around with it. Oh, one thing I did want to show you about this. If you, on a form, have a required field, what happens if we select a response and the required field is not completed? Boom. Please complete the required field. So you can't go past the page until that field is required. That's something Gravity Forms does anyway with the pagination links, but this auto advance also keeps that behavior intact. So it's pretty cool. Paul, what happens if the last field is a text field? That is a great question, and I don't know the answer to that question. Let's see, shall we? Let's go and add a single line text. Let's take our auto advance off of this one. And no, you don't get auto advance unless it is a selectable thing. So, yep. Which makes sense, right? Like you need to interact with something, pick a thing, select a radio button, check a box. And I bet you checkboxes don't even work because they're multi-select. Let's see. Yeah, that's not going to work here either. It has to be a radio button or a pick list in order to work, which makes sense. Accessibility is a great question, and that'd be something you'd have to test. I don't have the answer to that. Okay. Next up, any other questions or comments on that one? Multi-page auto advance. Pretty cool. All right, next up is WPZOOM Portfolio. WPZOOM Portfolio. I'm going to show you the demo here. Isn't this nice? So this actually creates a custom post type where you have many things. It includes filters, which is kind of nice. And you click the thing, and it takes you to the page. Pretty cool. Let's look at it on the back end. So this is going to create a custom post type over in the side here called Portfolio. And we have a few things here. I've got all the Golden Girls. And you can define some, set up some pre-configured layouts if you'd like. But I just want to open up where we've got this dropped in already. Helps to edit the page and actually drop the block in. Now, when I type portfolio, notice there's a couple of things that come up. This blue one is the cadence block, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But this one in black is, or dark gray, is the portfolio from the plugin we just added. So I'm going to drop that in. And you have some options here. You can turn on filtering. Do we want to pull in blog posts? We can do that with this plugin, by the way. How many items? Is it columns or an overlay? gap, all of those things can be shown. What is the size of the picture? Do we want to show any meta, etc., etc.? Is it lightbox? Is it not? Let's just update this page. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We need to get those sizing worked out. Let's see. Let's do shop single should give us the same size. There we go. Right there it is. And each one, whoop. Oh, you know what? So if you ever have this happen, like a new plugin you create and it's going to this newly, it's like a new permalink with the category name of something it just created. If that ever happens, the solution is just go flip your permalinks. So if we go here to permalinks, set to plain and save, and then turn it back to post name and save, that's called resetting your permalinks in WordPress. And if we refresh, it works fine. That's what's going on there. So that's pretty cool. It's a neat little plugin. If you are just using the block editor to build sites and you don't want to take the time to build a custom post type, this does it for you and it works. If you are a Cadence user and you want a portfolio and you don't mind creating a custom post type, or you just want to pull in posts into something like this, the Cadence block is actually a little more powerful than this one that we just looked at. So if we look at the portfolio block in Cadence, we've got a lot of options here of, what we're going, like we can even pull in WooCommerce products if we want. We can even select individual posts that we want to show in the grid, which is kind of cool. We also have the ability to change layouts. So we have a masonry layout here. If we want to do that, we can do a grid. We also have the ability to do a carousel. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Or a smaller pictured carousel. So the Cadence block has a lot more functionality, but what it doesn't have that the other ones do have is the ability, this WPZOOM Portfolio will filter by taxonomy. So that's one thing the Cadence block doesn't support, but Cadence gives you more view options. So anyway, that is WPZOOM Portfolio. Any other questions or comments on that one? All right, moving down the list to this month's fun little plugin that Mr. Paul Taubman suggested for us. It is called the Piano Block. So the Piano Block has zero practical application whatsoever. Doesn't even appear on the front end of the website, which I find puzzling, quite frankly. But it is a lot of fun to play with. So let's go and activate Piano Block. Now, if we look at this on the front end of the site, we see nothing because there's nothing there. If we look at this on the back end of the site, hey, look, there's a piano. Check it out. Isn't that something? And you can play things. You can also play by letter. I don't play the piano at all, but you can play things together. I'm using the keyboard at the moment. You can't hear the audio. Yeah, hang on a minute. It also has multiple instruments and so forth. So, yeah, this is the Piano Block. And the question in the chat is, why would we install this? I have no idea. I have no idea. It has no practical application whatsoever other than it's a really cool way that somebody decided to use the block editor. You play, so see the letters on the keys? They correspond to your keyboard, right? So I'm going to put my microphone back down here. So there you go. And you can, you can offset the octave here. You can change the volume. You can do multiple things. You can turn on and off sustain. It's a pretty cool little thing that has zero practical application. Oh, Jesse, could you use a touch screen? Surely you can use a touch screen. Surely you could use the touch screen. How cool would that be? Somebody should try that. I would really like this if it would render on the front end of the site. And I'm not sure why it won't. There's probably some technical reason why it won't render on the front of a site. It may be licensing for all these different instrument sounds. I mean, who knows? But I think I have to find out really quickly if it works on my phone. So let me try to log in. I can't type on my phone. Let me log in and we'll see if this works on the touch screen, because that would just be the best thing in the whole world if it did. And if we pause for like 30 more seconds, I will have the answer for you. We're logging in. WordPress is loading. And pages. And piano block. This would make my day. I wish I'd have thought about testing this earlier. This would make my day if this actually works. It works. Well, it's taking the input, but I don't hear any sound. I wonder if it's a Chrome thing. It's taking the input as I press the key. The key is turning gray, but I'm not hearing any sound. So is my phone on mute? Yes, it is. That could very well be it. How awesome is that? Okay, so there you go. Your day is now complete. You can play piano on your iPad, on your phone, in the back of WordPress. I mean, what more could you ask for on a Tuesday afternoon than that? That's all I'm saying. You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Taubman, for that fantastic plugin recommendation. If you don't like it, blame Paul. Okay. Next up is a plugin called Stand with Ukraine. So we talked about this plugin a bit in the last news roundup about this was a plugin that was forked by the developer who created, that was called the Zamir plugin, that put the Russian Z in the bottom of your website if you support the Russian invasion of Ukraine. But this plugin is the original, and it adds simply a flag banner to the bottom of your website in a very, I think, nice way. So let's just visit our site. And down there, yeah, it's just a sticky banner for the Russian flag colors down at the bottom left of your website. So it's a very simple plugin, but it's an easy way for you to stand with Ukraine right there. I know this is not the Russian flag. This is the plugin that the Russian developer took the code from And instead of the Ukrainian flag, put the Russian Z down there instead. Oh, I missaid Russian. Y'all, I'm not feeling good today. Yeah, so there you go. It is the Ukrainian flag colors that are down there in the bottom. So that is Stand with Ukraine. Any other questions or comments on that one? All right, we're going to finish strong today with two excellent plugins. The first one here is called Help Manager. Help Manager. So we've done a number of plugins over the years that have added the ability to supply help to clients in the dashboard. Some of them have been like in the help tray that pulls down from the top. Wait till you see this one. This may be my favorite one of those client help type plugins that I've seen yet. So, whoops. Over here at the top, we've just activated the plugin, and we now have a menu item called Publishing Help. And here's our topics, but watch, let's just add a new document. And I'm just going to grab some Ipsum text to put in there. But this is the block editor, so anything in the block editor you can put here. Like, for example, if we want to add an image here or a video or whatever, we can do that. And now when we look at our documents, look, there's another one. Example help document. Here's a new help document. It loads right here in the back end. It uses the block editor. So you have a lot of capability there to design various things. You could drop videos in there. You do have some management options here, to actually see the various documents and edit those. Yeah, it's very cool. So if you want to add, for example, an easy spot for documentation for, client, here's how you add a post to this particular custom post type that I created for you, blah, blah, blah. Here's a little straight down the list. Very, very cool. Janet, are the documents viewable for all WordPress roles? That is an excellent question. I have an editor user set up here, so let's switch to editor. And I don't see it there. Oh, that's not good. Wonder if I've got... This is a subscriber role. Hang on. I think. Or something's different about that editor role. The editor should be seeing more than that. Editor, role, editor. I must have this editor, the editor role, hobbled somehow on this site. Interesting. Let's switch it over to something like GiveWP Manager. All right. There it is. Yeah, so that's showing up there. I think something's wrong. I think I must have done something to the editor role on here and hidden some menu items. But that'd be worth looking at for sure, because I give editor role to my clients, typically. The GiveWP Manager gets it. It's something to experiment with. It's a good question. Sue, is there a way to get onto the dashboard? Oh, to get that onto the dashboard. Like, you mean here in this area? Where there's already a dashboard menu? Like right here? And you can even search it right there? Isn't that cool? Where do users access the documents? Right here in this dashboard widget or publishing help menu. It would show. So if they are, I'm guessing, If they are not an administrator, they wouldn't see the manage or add new here. They would just see the document link where it shows all of them. But yeah, dashboard widget gives immediate access just right there on the dashboard. Pretty cool. Yeah, this is really well done. So that is Help Manager by Bohemia Plugins. Yeah, I have not experimented on the role thing. So that's actually something I'm going to do because I could see us using this on the agency side. Can it import and export? I believe so, right? I mean, it's just posts. So you could probably import, it's a post type. Or does it have something? Where did you find that, Curtains? Was it in here? Easy import, export. Yeah, because it's just a post. This is a custom post type with back-end display. So anything you can import into it, it should, just drop right in there. Pretty cool. All right. Any other questions or comments on this one? Help Manager from Bohemia Plugins. All right. Last but certainly not least, All-in-One WP Sticky Anything. It's a great title. All-in-One WP Sticky Anything. So, have you ever wanted to make something on your page sticky? In other words, let's say you got a row of buttons on a page, and as you're scrolling down the page, you want that row, the call to action area or something to stick at the top of the page as you continue to scroll. That is what this does, and it does it so easily. It works with all of the things. Anything you can add a class to, you can make sticky. It is super cool. So literally, you add class equals sticky. So I'm just going to show you what we did over here in our page builder on this site. Pages. Beaver Builder test page. Oh, I need to activate Beaver Builder first. Just 1 second. This works on anything, again, that you can add a class to. And it's just class equals sticky. And let's jump into here. So we have a bunch of imported garbage here just to give some stuff on a page. And right here, okay, so here on this, why am I not loading the builder? We have a plugin conflict. Something is conflicting. 1 second. I bet you it's the, well, let's just deactivate a bunch of plugins. Somebody is not playing nice. I bet you it's the piano block because Paul suggested it. All right, let's try this again. Yay. Okay. So here's our row, and literally all I did was put class equals sticky, and I added a z-index class that gives the row a z-index. I gave you that CSS right here. Z-index makes it stack ahead of things. So with just adding that class, watch what this does. So as I load this page, there's our icon row. Whoops, hang on. It's still loading. Oh, I didn't activate sticky plugin, which is very important to do. Okay, now, one more time. We load the page, and drum roll. Boom, look at that. It sticks right to the top of the page. It's very, very cool. Very, very cool. Now, this would work the same way with a block. So if we jump over here to pages, and I've got a Gutenberg test page somewhere with a bunch of stuff on it. Let's just add a cadence row. So here's my row. And I want, hang on. We can go down here to class, make it sticky, and update. We might have to do a little additional CSS to make the z-index work. This button will stick. Yeah, see, we need to make the row white and fix the z-index, but yeah, look at that. It's just going to stick right to the top of the page. So it's really cool. You can do a lot of neat stuff with this. Yeah. Anyway, that is WP all-in-one, or starting again. All-in-one, WP, sticky anything. There we go. All right. So with that, that's it. Any other questions or comments on that one? Stacy, does it look good on mobile? Sure. It just sticks right there to the top of the screen. You'll want to test it, of course. It's really helpful, like for a button call to action. Stick it right to the top there. Okay, that is it for today. We've reached the end of the list, so we finish up with the question we always ask, which is, what was your favorite plugin of the Roundup? One vote only, please. These will be tabulated in June when we do our best of. So, Help Manager, Give, Action Hooks, Help Manager, Action Hooks, Help Manager, Action Hooks. So, Help Manager and Action Hooks so far. Help Manager, Action Hooks, hooks. Yeah, Help Manager and Action Hooks win the day. Action Hooks really taking it away. Yeah, good stuff there. A lot of fun. Okay, that is going to finish us up for today. I do want to remind you that tomorrow we have a great webinar with Kathy Zant on how hackers exploit WordPress plugin vulnerabilities. She's actually going to do a live hacky job right there on the webinar. So if you want to see how hacking works in real time, join us tomorrow, 1 o'clock, with Kathy talking about exploiting WordPress plugin vulnerabilities. Office hours is on Thursday. We're back on Monday, a week from today, Tuesday, a week from today, with WordPress News Roundup for April. Freelance Fly 2022, the marketing, getting new clients is next Wednesday, and of course, office hours on Thursday. This is the one I really want to bring your attention to, though. If you're a Cadence user, it's going to be a lot of fun on April the 19th. That is a week from Thursday. We're going to be talking with Ben Rittner, the founder of Cadence, about theming and templating WooCommerce with the new Cadence shop kit that will be have just been released about that time. So it's going to be the first training on that. It's fantastic. All the things you'll be able to do with really customizing the WooCommerce product pages and so forth using the new Cadence shop kit. We also have a webinar I scheduled with Stephanie Hudson from Focus WP on outsourcing in your business. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up here on iThemes training. Bonnie is wondering where we submit questions for office hours. So just go to any office hours event, click on it, and there's a form right there to enter your questions. So just click on that. You do need to be logged in as a member, and you can ask your question on that form. Doesn't matter which one it's all the same form on all the office hours webinars. It all goes to the same list. Well, that's going to do it for me today. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 1 o'clock Central, for our webinar on exploiting WordPress vulnerabilities with Kathy Zant. Hope you have a good evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow on iThemes Training, where we go further together.